Okay, so I'm completely incompetent at recording videos. And this is like, I'm not even kidding you, take 4. Take 4 on this video. And I've said the whole spiel 3 full times before this. So I'm not feeling it. But for you, I'm gonna do it again so you can see what this is all about. The recipe on this wine was 1 gallon of Oceanspray Cran-Raspberry juice, my all-time favorite juice, 1 frozen and mashed banana, and 3 cups of granulated sugar to bring this to a starting gravity of 1.100. I did not make this on this channel. This was just something on my own time before Let's Wine About It. And I used Red Star Premier Classic yeast. No real reason for that yeast. I just picked it because at the time I didn't really know anything about yeast. I'm just happy it wasn't bread yeast. My little note that I wrote when I started this was, really hoping the bananas do the trick to get the yeast to fully ferment out the sugar. Activity in airlock is weird, slow movement, but intense bubbling when CO2 does finally push through. I'm a dork, is what I've come to learn. The reason I added the bananas is because I tried to ferment this one time before this, and it stalled at 1.06. The reason for that is probably because cranberry juice is really acidic, and it's a difficult environment or situation for yeast to ferment in. The more acidic the environment of your yeast, the greater the chances are of a stuck or sluggish fermentation. And on the pH scale, bananas tend to be basic, so they balance out acidity, and that's what it did. It worked. The final gravity was 0.996, so the ABV on this one was 15%. I then back sweetened it to 1.01, so it's semi-sweet. Now, let's pour a little bit more for just optics sake. The color on this, it looks like a rosé. It's really pretty and clear and nice looking. It's just that I was not a big fan of the flavor of this, to be honest with you. The bananas plus the cran-raspberry juice was kind of icky. I'm not sure why they didn't pair well, but they didn't. On the smell, it's pretty good. I like the smell of it. The cran-raspberry juice smell is lost because I think the bananas just overwhelm everything else. You're never going to smell anything like it because you're never going to add bananas to Oceanspray Cran-Raspberry juice unless you do this exact thing. It's very unique and honestly makes me a little queasy because it reminds me of when I drank this last and got pretty drunk and then sick. that was on me. It tastes semi-sweet, just like you guessed from the gravity. The raspberry comes through well, like when I made raspberry wine with Ashley. Similar taste to that. Don't really taste what I would call cranberry at all. The bananas add a certain milky texture to the wine, like or not milky, I guess, but creamy texture. They're kind of an old school winemaking trick to add body to your wines, so they taste a little fuller. It did that, and that's nice, but the flavor combo of the raspberry juice and the bananas, I don't like. And that's just me, and that's okay. There's a slight bitter note at the end, which is never left. That was there at the beginning when I bottled it and now. But it's not dominant at all, but it is there. One of the interesting things that happened as it was fermenting is as it sat in secondary fermentation, just waiting for it to clear, these thick clouds started to develop within the wine, like in the middle, not even at the bottom or the top. They were just suspended in it. No idea what that is. Probably something in the bananas that's stuck in there. And so when I racked it into another container again, I just had to leave these thick clouds behind, and they were like substantial. They were like gelatinous. Very weird. Don't know what that was about, but I've never seen it before that or after. If I did this again, I would make this into a cider probably rather than a wine. Go to like 5 or 6% alcohol. I think that without the bananas would be killer. So that's what I would do if I redid it. I would say that over the last year, the alcohol flavor, that intensity has receded nicely, and that's good. The flavors are a little more mellow, a little more blended together, but I still really don't like this one. Honestly, I got kind of sick the last time I had it. I had like 3 glasses of it after drinking beforehand, so it just pushed me over the edge, and so every time I taste it now, it reminds me of that ill-fated night, but that's not anything to do with the wine. That had to do with me. So anyway, if you like this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and watch more videos, and have a fantastic day. Thanks. Bye-bye. I can't do this again. So if this didn't record, if it didn't come through, you're never going to see it.